Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Soul Conversation Live. We are now on episode 22, and tonight we will be sharing about our favorite movies. And we will discuss it according to the lens of Jungian psychology or depth psychology. So please join us tonight in our sharing. And I'd like to invite my companions here in our virtual studio. Please come in. Nathan De Leon and Oliver Rojas, and also Art, Rocha, and Ruby. Hi. Hello, friends. Welcome.
Hello. Good evening, guys.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening. Meron pa tayong
Uh,
isa. Ako lang na. Si Ruby. Where is
Just
she?
a question.
Wala.
On the topic, I was thinking, do any of you can any of you recollect what's the first movie you remember watching?
Ah,
Ghost
alam mo,
Story.
first first movie. Ako horror.
Horror
First
na
movie. I
horror.
mean genre. Yung genre. Horror.
Horror.
Kasi paborito ko yung horror
I can't
talaga.
remember first, but I can say what made the most lasting impression was my favorite color is green because of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. So maybe
Ah,
would be that, right? Just
Wait, what's this? Are we talking about movies that are shown on TV, or
no, but
movies
just
that
the
are
first one you
shown
remember watching, first movie that you
watching in a
remember.
movie house? Movie
Yeah.
house. Okay. On TV, Supergirl. Super,
What's her
super.
name? The actress?
Oliver, ako ang naalala ko.
Richard Donner.
Art, ang naalala ko. As a child, naalala ko um, yung Darna movie si Vilma Santos.
alam mo, that was very scary That
Yeah,
was also very scary.
si Darna,
Kasi
Vilma Santos ang ninumulak.
kasi may kalaban siyang
If
tikbalang.
you were to make pusta, ano,
Nakakatakot yung tikbalang.
Darna or Wonder Woman?
Darna.
Well,
Darna
Darna.
talaga, no? Hi,
Darna.
Ruby. Speaking of Wonder
Hi,
Woman.
good
Hi, Ruby.
evening,
Hi, Ruby.
everyone.
Good evening. But of course, I love Wonder
Speaking
Woman.
of
Yun
Darna,
ang,
naalala ko yung
oh,
Medusa.
si
Yung
Valentina, di ba?
Medusa, yung kalaban ni Darna, si Valentina.
Actually,
Na laging nakaturban.
Laging nakaturban.
Alam mo, nakakatakot yung Darna kasi basta one scene natakot ako. Kita so glad we're all here. We're all moviegoers pala. And I think this session is really for moviegoers, avid
Yes.
movie fans. Nathan, are we sharing this with our
Group.
regulars?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
If you think
comment
about
lang
it, in the
kayo.
context of Jungian psychology, movies are actually metaphors, symbols,
They
because
are.
no
They
person
are.
is going to get the same experience. Uh, it's
Yes,
always going to be unique to the
yes.
individual. So, in the context of things like individuation or becoming who you are, it's not really the movies we agree about that we should talk about. It's the ones that we disagree where we can learn, no?
Correct. You
Ano
are
ba
right.
yung, what do you think of the state of movies these days?
Well, in fairness,
Yes.
well, as I observe, well,
Um,
this is from the
I
Filipino
mean, you
movies.
like Marvel films? I do. Superman
Uh,
was pretty cool.
usually improve.
I don't know. It's kind of like the music industry. I feel there's a recycling of a lot of material and actually very little relevance to what's happening in the environment. So it's more of an escapism than ever. Um,
Correct.
Movies about
Correct.
awareness, movies about mindfulness, movies about being present in the now. It's very, or even a real like a film that invokes like how do you say deep emotions. It's more done for the box office thrills and the cheap laughs, which I think is is a reflection of how we are as a consciousness also. No, bit caricature. Movie plus part one, part two, Avengers. Recycling it again and again. But there's also great. I mean, great movies. I mean, some of them I like my Avengers stuff, but yeah, it just seems like in terms of originality, If you were to go like the 70s, like it's a very different thing. So I don't know. What else? What would your experience be, guys? Someone else talk.
Well, as I observed, ang dami ngayon ng mga superhero movies. Have you noticed it? There are a lot of fantasy movies out there, Hollywood movies, and also Filipino movies. Meron din mga fantasies, maraming mga fantasy movies ngayon. And you're right, Art, maybe it's a form of maybe to escape the harsh realities that we are experiencing right now. And also, merong ano din eh, I think it has also a therapeutic value, not necessarily as escaping, but to provide us a momentary relief, maybe, and also allow our imagination to
Greed,
play,
greed, to greed.
soar to another realm, beyond these harsh realities that we are facing right now. Yeah, I think it also has a value.
Does anyone read comic
I
books?
think
Comic book readers? Any comic book
uh
nerds? No,
no, not
no. Yeah,
me.
you. So I'm a super comic book nerd. Like literally, I know everything that's happening with JL, Justice League, Avengers. I read avidly. For me, it's really that's where I've got my gift of active imagination and my vernacular is really because of the comic books I've read. Now, why?
Ah,
Yeah, it really is. Now, because you get the best of both worlds. You have the words, and you don't have to imagine. You have the pictures there already, and you're just like you're getting the words in, and you're really like connecting to it. So, I really like. I'm a comic book like fiend, and I've loved it. It's my favorite medium. What's happened now is that because comic books have such a rich history of continuity, right? For screenwriters, okay, once the technology was able to meet the standard needed to bring comic book movies to life, hey, let's make some money here. Because why? All the storylines that are great are there already. So it's just now all I need to do is just go back. It's like the collective unconscious is all there. And we're gonna pick, you know what? In Spider-Man, when he got the black suit, let's get that, but then let's also throw this in or something else. So it almost guarantees success, right? In the sense that people, it's the storyline, the Avengers, I don't know if you know, but it's a big deal that Doctor Doom, and it's also Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, no? So
mm,
Doctor Doom is a character who in himself inspires enough, how do you say, fanfare to be its own reception, which is so interesting in archetype when we talk about archetypes now, right? What is happening to the current archetype? What has happened to the hero? What has happened to the warrior? What has happened to the sage? No, Doctor Strange. You've got like the scientist, Iron Man. You know, so it's an interesting problem because literally these archetypes are really feeding the mainstream narrative right now, from kids to everywhere, and it's never gonna stop.
I think
I
that's
agree with
because
you,
people are making movies for for money. And but I think there is also another side to movie making, which is the indie films and the
Mm.
art films, which and I think inspire tend to be made to for audiences that want to go deeper, that want to look at things more closely, that want to look at things from a different angle. Yeah, those are the ones that are uh, 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 put on the indie films and the art films. But for mainstream talagang ang labanan dyan is special effects. Ang labanan dyan is costume, 'di ba? Plot twist. Maglagay ka lang ng isang plot twist, ano na eh, ah, patok na yung movie.
Yeah.
For example, Superman dies. That's a plot twist. I mean, like Superman is supposed to be supposed to be unbeatable, unharmable, uh, and then in one movie he dies.
Invincible.
So parang
Invincible.
yeah. So plot twist na yun. And syempre, people are, wow, paano siya namatay? Di ba? Yeah.
Ruby,
What
you were
movie?
saying something.
What movie? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruby.
What I like these days is that there's a because of because of online nga. Let's not get into whether it's good or not. Talagang it's what the situation is. Like because there's Netflix, there's a wide range of choices of for movies, themes,
Mm,
um, uh, genre, if you may call that, diba? Wide range talaga. So, where you're interested in, what you're interested in, it the movies can cater to your interests, no?
right. You have a
Pero
lot of choices, no?
yes, there are a lot of choices. So, so if we talk about the industry as money making, talagang kailangan kompleto rekado all the ingredients should be present, right? The stars, the quality of the script, and then the plot twists, no? Pero what I like is that what what you like, you can ask the media what you like to watch. Like I recently watched this. Um, I've told you about this in La Maison Grande. It's about a Japanese chef who was disgraced and who tried to
Mm,
get back his Michelin stars, diba? Tapos there's another one, the other one that I last also before that was a Chinese movie of about a woman who wanted to marry off her daughters, no? Yes, nakakatuwa.
I think
yeah,
also not only genre, but not only diversity in terms of genre, but diversity in terms of uh, who makes them. For example, Philippine movies have a different flavor than Korean movies or American movies or British movies. Iba-iba eh. Iba-iba yung mga flavor
Yeah,
nila. Which is so
yeah.
exciting kasi for movie goers talaga, there's really something
Oh,
for everyone. Every day of
yeah,
the week, you can watch a movie every day a week. Every day, in fact.
yeah. Talagang
yeah,
What
it's
what movies nga?
yeah.
Sige nga.
Sige nga, let's talk about what movies that enable you to identify the archetypes. No? Since we are now talking about movies from the archetypal perspective, from the Jungian lens. So,
Or
is there a
or
particular movie that
simply what yeah,
you've seen that you were able to
or
identify?
that
Ito yung
resonates
pinaka
with you.
that resonates with you. Ito yung archetype na that really touched you and caught your attention.
Yes, yes, yes. J-start ka na.
Okay, ako bias ako ha sa film na ito kasi paborito ko talaga ito eh. You know, The Lord of the Rings. For me, The Lord of the Rings
Ano
trilogies,
daw? The
so
Lord of the
so
Flies?
The Lord of the Rings, The Lord of the
Not
Rings,
Flies. Oh, Lord of the
not
Rings.
flies.
Okay.
uh, The Lord of the Rings kasi napaka-rich niya, yung
Bakit?
so ano yung mga archetypal motifs na nakita ko dun sa movies, ano? So of course, mainly it's about the hero's journey. Yung hero, yung journey niya, yung call of adventure niya, yung from uh, the main character there, the Hobbit, yung si Frodo, na ano siya, na talagang nagulo yung buhay niya, no? From a peaceful, very calm environment, napunta siya doon sa napakahaba and perilous journey, no? To bring the ring to the mount of Mordor, so for the ring to be destroyed there. And so yun, yung hero's journey. And then another thing is that ang gustong-gusto kong character dito si Gandalf. So he represents the wise man or the magician archetype. You also see Aragorn, the king archetype, yung mga mature expressions of the masculine energy, nandoon din. So, nandoon yung lover, nandoon yung king, warrior, nandoon, the wise man, wise woman, nandoon. Oh, grabe, nandoon yung mga really
Yeah.
fascinating archetypal characters.
Yeah.
Kayo, anong yung mga movies na talagang
Oh, well, I loved
archetypal ninyo?
Lord of the Rings also, as in the 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 setting kasi is so otherworldly. For me, that is what
Mm-mm.
captured my ano. Parang it's so otherworldly and it's so magical, mystical. Uh, and I like the character. I like the elven characters actually.
Mm.
Of all the characters, I like the elven characters the best.
Si
I think
Galadriel.
because si
Galadriel.
Galadriel, of course, and who's this? Who's the elf that was with them in their troop?
Si Legolas. Si
Yes,
Legolas.
Legolas. Oo,
Yeah,
Legolas. And
Legolas.
also Arwen, Lady Arwen.
Ayan, si
Lady,
Arwen.
di
Yes.
ba? So very, so very, wow. Sino kayo? Parang I
Ethereal,
Ayan.
want to
no?
get,
Ethereal
oh,
creatures.
Yan. Correct.
Characters.
Can we greet the mga watchers natin? Si
hi
Pink Rose, good
watchers.
evening.
Hi,
Ayan.
Pink Rose.
Hi,
Ayan.
Tita Rose.
Nag-comment siya. Ayan. Ay,
What is your comment?
good
Ah,
evening daw.
Pink Rose, type ko dyan, ano yung paborito mong movies
Oo, ano yung
Yes.
paborito mo movie?
na nakatouch sa'yo? Ayun. Pwede rin
Oh,
yun.
How about
ayan.
you?
Hi, hi those mga nanonood sa what's this? Nanonood sa what's this? YouTube. May mga nanonood sa YouTube. Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi to our YouTube
hello,
watchers.
guys. Thank you for tuning
Please,
in.
mm-mm. Please do
Ayan,
type in the
Ruby.
comments what movies struck you, what movies resonate with you.
Lots of
Nako, lots
drama
of
daw.
drama.
Lots of drama. Ayan. Ikaw, Ruby, yung napanood na gusto mo?
Yeah. Nabanggit ko nga yung ano, 'di ba, that Chinese film, or it's
A
actually a
film.
series, no? Yes. It's called Perfect Match, no? So
Perfect.
it's in
Okay.
Netflix, and it's a series with this matronly woman marrying off her daughters, no? So she went from a medyo suburban town and went to this more cosmopolitan town. Um, and very traditional naman. So I got to know about more, di ba? I got more to know more about Chinese culture. Very interesting. And since five yung daughters niya, so ibig sabihin five ano no, five suitors, five sets of suit for or grooms, okay? So iba-ibang klase sila. So archetypally, punong-puno ng mga archetypes yung kwento. Like the other one got married to one who's good looking, but medyo kulang siya sa, he's not that intelligent. So para siyang foil. The other one is a scholar, yung nasa, 'di ba, in traditional Chinese, yung mga ministers, yung mga nasa, yung magistrates,
Yes.
they're the ones who
Yes.
are
Yes.
highly regarded, yung matatalino, yung mga
Yes.
the one who judge the judges, all right? So yeah,
Yes.
meron yung ganong character yung isa, merong entrepreneur. Ayan, nakakaaliw. So,
Hmm.
the women were wedded off to ano to such interesting characters.
Ayan. Ayan daw meron until daw meron pang ganyan.
So it's
Ano ba
entitled
yun?
Perfect Match.
Drama ba yun? Drama? Perfect match drama. Nanonood ka ata nun, Big
Comedy,
Rose.
comedy drama.
Comedy.
Meron ding action. So it's just very, ano nga, pinagpuyatan ko nga, natuwa ako eh.
Sa Netflix.
Netflix,
Yeah.
yes.
Ruby and Nathan, kanina pa tayo nag-uusap no, and mentioning about the word, the archetypes. Na para sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam at not familiar with the term archetypes, maybe it's good to say something about it. Maybe a simple definition of what an archetype is so that yung ibang makakapanood sa atin they'll
Sige,
have an
Jay,
idea.
Umpisahan mo na
Yeah.
ang Webster.
Ikaw na ang
So,
Webster.
so so kanina no, nag-uusap tayo. Kanina pa kami nag-uusap and then lumalabas palagi yung word na archetype. So, ano ba itong archetype? No? So, archetype is a term in depth psychology that refers to a universal, a an original pattern or model of behavior or character. Or in this case, sa mga movies and stories, it is an archetype. It is a an original, not original, but a primordial pattern of or model of a character, a role, or situation in the story. And this can be found in the collective unconscious of all humanity, shared by all humanity since the dawn of time. So, for example, ito yung uh, wise woman, magician, the hero, the villain, etc. So, ito yung mga template of and modes of behaviors na nakikita natin sa mga kwento, nakikita natin sa fairy tale, nakikita natin sa mga movies and stories. Ayan.
I think it's not just ano eh. It's not just uh, uh, archetypes. I think the story itself can resonate with you. Um, my reaction to Ruby, her movie is about a Chinese mother who is going to marry off her daughters. Okay. Um, one of my other favorite films is, I'm sure you've seen this also. It's called Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
It's called Fiddler on the Roof. Um, and it's basically it's Russian. No, the characters are Russian. However, the plot is the same. They are also trying to marry off their daughters,
Yes.
and they the parent the couple Tevye and ano Golda also have all daughters lang. They have three daughters. So parang and I see similarities between that and the Chinese culture na it's very it's very traditional. You cannot just marry for the sake of, you know, you cannot just marry for the sake of uh 'di ba? Sinong type mo, 'di ba? For example, type ko 'to. You cannot just marry that person. You need the approval of your family, of your parents, 'di ba? And kahit anong sabihin nyo, whatever, however modern we think our society is today, there is still that ingrained in the culture na, for example, in Chinese, however modern you think we are, hindi meron pa ring, the parents still have to agree na, oh, itong pakakasalan mo. Okay, we are okay with this person. So I don't know. Although
It's
in the
very
movie,
niche.
in Fiddler on the Roof, although in Fiddler on the Roof, ano, they were those three daughters, they really individuated. Kasi talagang the three of them went against tradition and married the groom of their choice. And the
This is the
father, si Tevye, had to accept, had to learn na um, it's not, that it's not parang that loving my daughters is more important than following the tradition. And for me, that was very humanizing. That was very humanizing for me.
So, in all the movies that you've seen and watched, Oliver and Art, did you recognize the process of individuation in the main character of the story? Ano yung journey niya
in
from
what?
beginning, middle to end?
Definitely.
It's always like that, diba? Movies tell us and show to us the development of the character, of course, and of course we say it, the development of the character, but in archetypal way of saying it, or in the Jungian sense, it's about the individuation process of the main character of the story, the claiming of who she or he is, and that process of becoming his or her true self at the end of the
Mm.
movie or of the story.
But you
Maybe
notice in
let's
movies,
Jay. Mm-mm.
you go
Yes,
on.
Art.
Maybe let's
Yeah,
Jay.
I was just gonna say that
Um,
individuation is
let's
interesting because in the movie context, it's the story very much of the stars in some sort of accommodation. Something happens to them, may nangyari. There's the wounding, there's the separation, and then
Mm.
depending on the movie, okay, sometimes it stops at the separation. But, it's Arnold. Depending on the movie, sometimes you get the liminality, and I think it's the movies where you experience the whole process, where there's the character experiences in total like like rehaul in terms of who they are in the beginning as opposed to who they become at the end. And it's a beautiful thing for people to experience because you're looking at something that can take a lifetime, happen in like 2 hours, right? No,
Mm.
and it all also puts into perspective when you're watching a movie to really, what if you were to look at your own life as a movie? Like, what if you were to be the
Mirrors
star
our
of your
own,
own life?
mirrors our own.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like star of your own, not just any movie,
yes,
like your
definitely.
own Hollywood blockbuster film directed by Steven Spielberg, you know, like what would that be like? I think for all the people watching right now, just like to just, have a moment, to just imagine what would it be like to first of all read a script. What would be in it in your life up to this point? Um, what would be the felt feelings that you'd want communicated to the silver screen? What would be the points in your life? Like I know na mine. Mine opens. It's 1987, May 21. It's around 3:30 a.m. I'm 3 years old and I wake up and my yaya's not in my room and I cross the door. I hear screaming and then I open the room to my mom's door and I see my mother on the bed giving birth to my sister. So that's the beginning of mine. Kind of clear. So
Wow. How old were
it's
you,
a very power. It's yeah.
Art?
And then but after that, I saw the blood. I saw my sister. My dad was on the phone, and then the yaya, my candidate who was looking for, she came, and she grabbed me and she took me to the other room. But then I ran out when the paramedics came because it happened in the house in San Francisco, and the paramedics came to take my mom. I'm 3. This is my first memory. I don't remember like anything before that, but I remember many things after that far less clear than I remember that. Like I remember that clearer than I remember yesterday. It was that seared into my psyche. And I remember screaming. They took my mom down, And I remember distinctly where the movie, where the kind of separation starts is like, so the wounding at a young age. I'm sitting on the steps with my Yaya Candida and the black footprints of the paramedics, looking at them and just crying, what happened to mom? Okay. So, ooh, right, nice start, right? So for you guys out there, imagine what that would be like. And what we're starting to do right now is we're starting to enter the liminal space of active imagination already. We're already engaging the unconscious, So I don't know, maybe that's an activity. Wouldn't that be cool? Coming and meeting each other. You all have your own like scripts of your life and you get edits, no? Anyone else want to share?
That would be nice.
Wow, and that memory stayed with you, huh? Wow,
It's the,
very, very,
it's a defining memory because the emotions that I felt that day are connected to my heart's capacity to feel.
very intense, I would say. Intense. That scene.
But then I got like, oh, go on, yeah. Nathan?
I have a question. So, do you consider movies are the projections of the producers and the scriptwriter?
Definitely.
Is
Oo
this
naman.
is this
I think,
Yeah.
a projection?
Yeah, it's a kind
So
of
Oo.
a projection because what's within, you put a structure to it, you put life into that, you breathe life into what's inside you, then that's you are projecting it outside on the big
but
screen.
Yeah. 'Di
on
ba
the creative
'di ba Jay,
process,
mm, we just
on the
learned the
creative
other day na
process,
you cannot give what you don't have.
yes. But on the creative
but
process,
it's interesting.
yeah, on the creative process, um, so the scriptwriter projects, right, and then the producer would always edit it, right, to uh to a better, like
A
uh,
better version, maybe.
yeah, better version or saleable version, So in that creative process, do you think, okay, the muses, di ba? Usually the muses dictates, right? So usually, does this muses, I mean, edit, been edited out, you know, di ba?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Why?
Maybe
I like
Romy
Raj.
can
Raj, a
answer
quick
that.
question.
Does it serve
Why do we watch scary movies?
what
What
psychological
What
function
psychological
does it
psychological
serve?
function
function is
does
it?
it serve?
The feeling function.
Ollie is the expert there.
Oo. He loves,
So but
he loves.
I
Are,
love
are,
scary
are any of you guys
movies.
the ones that when you watch a horror movie, you make it worse for the people next who you watch it with?
Well, in terms of the function, the psychological function, Raj, maybe this is my um, the way I'm seeing it because me too, I love watching horror movies. In fact, that's my first choice. Horror movies, talaga.
Also,
It yes,
pareho kayo ni
the
Oliver.
psychological,
Oh my God.
yeah,
I like a good horror.
Go horror fans. Go.
yeah. Why? Because the psychological function for me, it brings me to a realm of not only uh, emotional excitement, but it gives me a way to, at least in that sense, no, in that fictitious movies or stories, it gives me a sense of confronting my own fears. It gives me a sense of satisfaction. Oh, I have this fear in me, and I have to. At least in the movies, I can face it. I can watch scary movies. I am also in a way facing my own fears and maybe my own inner demons. In that sense,
So shadow work via the silver screen.
yes, in a way.
I
Uh,
Shadow work.
basta for me, it's just it's I don't know, maybe you can be the one to tell me what psychological function it serves me, but Uh, for me, I like um, I like trying to guess how the next character is gonna die.
Gonna be dead.
Like
For
ang galing nila mag-isip ng ways to die. I mean, like
Mm.
part.
for me, I like sci-fi horror. Sci-fi horror. That's my genre more of the horror.
And
Sci-fi movies.
I just saw
We'll see, Oliver.
the original version of Salem's Lot.
Oh
Ah,
yeah, that's a
Salem
good one.
Slot.
The original
I
one.
just saw
Yeah.
Salem's Lot, the 1970.
How about the
Yeah,
Changeling?
super, super.
The Changeling.
3 hours long, but wow.
Nakakatakot yun. I don't like it.
Reminds me of
I
my
have
dad
to
watching
rewatch
horror
that.
movies.
Change.
Mm.
So I like
Yeah.
your response, Oliver. Like you're interested in the process of carrying out
How about you,
the
Nathan?
gore.
I didn't used to like horror. Yes.
The horror film. Yes, Ruby, you're saying something.
Which I think many people ano also like, because that's I think that is the whole plot of Final Destination, right? How is the next person gonna die? Because 6 characters in a movie or the 30 characters na yan, the producers thought of 30 unique ways for these people to die.
Grabe,
I mean, one
grabe
day we
yan,
must.
ano.
We're gonna run out, right? One day we're gonna run out. I mean, eventually we're gonna run out of ways. It's gonna start recycling, no? Killing people off.
Yes.
Ayan,
What
si
is
Teddy.
Yes.
yes? Or
Horror
Hi,
movie, scary
Teddy.
tales.
Good morning, Teddy. Hello. Also serve as
Ayan,
measure of
so
control.
also self
Okay,
measure of
sorry.
control. If a kid's scared of the story movie, some elders can use it. Means to keep
Oh,
them in.
really?
Mm. Yeah, where does this
Pero
come from? Dito,
Really?
Dito, Dito. Tactic, huh? I'll try it with my children.
That's
Marcos,
practical, you know.
Marcos, if you
Okay,
don't listen to me, you're gonna watch child play while you're tied to the chair. No, Daddy,
uh,
I don't like jockey. Right? That's
but
crazy.
not so mean. Not so
Imagine,
mean.
Marcos, if you do not listen to Daddy, if you don't stop hitting, it'll work. Daddy's gonna put you next to the TV, tie the chair, and he's gonna put Chucky 2, Bride of Chucky.
Ay ko.
Oh my god. And then I get a Chucky doll while he's
Yeah.
sitting down and making gulat from the
Hala,
side.
kakainin ka ng
Actually, that's so Pinoy. That's
kakainin
so
mo sa
Pinoy. That
mukha.
kind of
I
approach
love
is
that.
so Pinoy. Oo.
For me,
Diba?
it's really
Panakot.
like we watch Paranormal Activity. I like that because of I like the whole parang the format. Have you seen it?
True.
Creative ba
Yes,
yun? Baka
yes.
it will create trauma.
Hmm?
Sabi
Well,
nila
creative
creative.
way of this of
Like
controlling
with my
kids
wife,
for
she's
your own
watching. I all of a
convenience.
sudden the bed sheets are being pulled up. Babe, what's happening? You know, like in the movie, she started freaking out, and I get a little from that. No, yeah.
Pero alam mo, in watching the same, yung Salem Slot, for a while, like 4 years after, I don't want to sleep, beside the windows. Di ba?
Mm.
Because of that guy who
Oh.
float. Tapos he showed his teeth. Oh my God, di ba? It's so scary.
And for me, I find sometimes like
How about you, Nathan? What movie?
closing my ears is more effective than closing my eyes.
Yes, Oliver.
Really?
Yes.
Ay, si Ruby.
Nathan.
Ay, ako, favorite ko, ano ba yung dati or yung ngayon? Actually, marami. I love gay movies. I love gay. Kasi nakakatawa.
Filipino
There's
Yeah,
always
parenting.
a
Teddy.
thin
Yes,
line.
Filipino parenting. The Pinoy way, of course. We're so expert in that sense.
There's always thin line. Naku, it could create, ano, ay nako, Teddy, it could create traumas. Grabe, as in trauma. I got traumatized. You know, di ba? Even, alam mo yung
I'm sure nadaanan
na-trauma sa
natin
akin.
yan, no? Mga Pinoy kids. No?
Oh,
In the
alam,
70s,
alam,
80s, 90s, and even now, nadadaanan natin lahat yan.
alam nyo, nakatrauma sa akin, nakakatawa.
Shake,
Yung
shake.
palaka, kay Pinky Montil.
Ano, ano?
Yung palaka, dun sa Pinky Montilla movie.
Ano yun? Coca?
Supergirl. So, there's this. Oh, in the
Giant, yung giant
Supergirl, there's
palaka.
a giant palaka. There's a giant, what's this? We call this as a giant palaka. Invading the, ano, invading the town. Ayan. Di ba? Parang, before I live in Bulacan. So, I always imagine that there's
Did someone tell you that they can get giant?
Pero at the age of 10, ang hirap, di ba? At the age of 9, there's a big palaka. Di ba? So it could traumatize you actually and feed your
So
fear.
your shadow looks like a palaka.
Just a question. Would you consider Titanic a gay movie?
Mm,
LGBT movie? Sorry.
No, I think.
For me,
No.
no. I have seen it, but no, not
Actually, it's a
really.
love
Not in the
story.
context. No, listen. Not in the context of the subject matter, but in the context of how do you say, um, getting pure emotion out. Because one of the things why I put Titanic for my movie, and this goes against to depth psychology, the emergence of the feeling function is a very important aspect of the work, right? And one of the few places where we collectively cry and we share resonance with each other, a coherence, is in those moments like Jack, Jack, Jack. You know, like when she's drowning. I was, oh my god, I was so, I was born. The whole cinema was crying, and like
I
in
think
this culture, huh?
I think we all have the separation anxiety, so that's why
But
we
to have
we react.
that collective energy of just it's okay to be vulnerable, and it doesn't. No one's gonna look at me and judge me for feeling. I know it's happening in the dark, and it's for we can't look at each other, and we're looking at the screen, but it's a start, no. And I distinctly remember watching it and just feeling so comfortable, crying because everyone else was, no. And I think that's a beautiful thing about movies is they not only give us an experience in terms of like the blockbuster, but they also remind us of why consciousness is important, why this vessel or this experience of life is meant to be lived. No, like the movie Beautiful Life, the one, the Italian one, what was it called? The one Dolce
Yes.
Vita, the one
Yes.
that's a movie
Yes.
of certain
Grabe.
emotions become evoked, right? Hmm. And it goes beyond even words that you leave the cinema and you're both infused with this energy and it comes from creative expression and it's being experienced each in its own unique way and instead of creating division it's bringing people together, so there's a little magic there that I think like I don't know why do we have to be in dark rooms watching screens doing that though, so but yeah.
It's the story that touches us.
Ang
It's the
ganda,
story
ang ganda.
and the characters in the story. No.
Mhm.
Because it mirrors our own fantasies, our own drama, our own emotions, our own struggles in life. No? So that's also we cry, we can relate. It touches us. And I think art, no, going
Yes,
back to
this
the gay theme, well, maybe some male, no, stereotypes na parang it's a gay thing to cry for males. I think it's not.
Yeah, I think it's a manly thing to cry, and I think it's a positive thing for because the expression of self for me, there's no community that is closer to resonance and some sort of coherence than the LGBT community. Because automatically, and the crazy thing, I was coaching my first coachee who is a She is a girl. She's transitioning into male, just by not by the full thing, just pills and all that, right? And then I had a session with her and another guy who just entered our office by accident, Dow synchronicity. And I asked them, I was like, "Do you guys say the word gay like like that's gay? Like sometimes the connotations like, dude, that's so gay. It's so loud, it's so gay, right?" And they told me they don't, and I asked them for forgiveness for me saying it all the time. And when I asked it, I really cried. Like I felt a lot of emotion that just fell through. And going back to the point, the LGBT community, think about it. You're all the community is collective. What makes you all connect is what society says should make you different. And there's a unique irony there, which states that you value someone's emotional sovereignty more than you do their compliance, more than you do their accommodation. And I think there's so much for the current social, culture, economic environment can learn from that type of energy. Yeah.
Um, you're gonna say something, Oliver.
Can I, yes, can I comment on what Raj wrote?
Yes.
Um, my my nephew who is 12 years old. Um, I I always I invite them to go watch movies. Okay. So whenever there is a new Marvel movie out or superhero movie out, I always ask them, "Hey, let's go and watch." Okay. I always invite my nephew out to watch superhero movies. Okay. And since he turned 11, this is my response to Raj. Since my nephew turned 11, ayaw na niyang manood ng superhero movie. Ayaw. Okay.
Hmm?
And
Really?
so my response is, yeah. So I asked him why. Sabi niya, it's not my thing anymore. That's what he said.
Hmm.
And
How old is
and so
your
my response to Raj
12?
is maybe the 12, 12. Maybe the question we should be asking is or why don't we like to watch certain kinds of movies? Like for me, why don't I like to watch drama? I hate drama. I don't like rom-com. Maybe that is something we can look at
Because there's nothing
ourselves.
romantic about comedy, no, Ollie. There's nothing comedy about romance, no.
Maybe
I
he
mean,
just
there's
yes,
something
Ruby.
I don't like eh. Ayokong umiyak. I don't wanna cry.
Mm,
I don't wanna cry.
mm,
So maybe that is
why?
something for me to look at.
Can we just question,
Why
Ollie?
don't
Really,
I
just bring
like
it up.
these
Why don't you
movies?
want to cry? Yeah.
I don't like. I'd rather
You
be
don't like to
scared
cry.
than cry.
Yeah, Ruby, you're gonna say something. Ruby.
Oh,
Yes.
rom-com is horror.
Horror.
Yeah. No, I missed that point. Bakit ayaw na ng nephew mo na manood?
Sabi lang niya, it's not my thing anymore. That's all he said.
Ah,
And
okay.
Oh,
okay,
Baka
it's okay.
nag-intimidate na siya kay
okay.
uncle.
I, speaking of horror superhero movies, I think lately Marvel especially parang led the way or paved the way for the humanizing of
Of
superheroes.
superheroes, yes, correct.
Parang it parang especially Marvel, 'di ba? They're all lalo na X-Men, they're all human. It's just that may mutant I mean, they just have a mutant gene, but their emotions are still there. Especially X-Men, they're struggling with identity. Um and people can relate to that eh. I think people can relate to that. Parang you have power pero you're still meron kang flaws. You're human. You have Superman is Superman is indestructible but his love life is like it's like very rocky, 'di ba?
Ako, siguro ang
Or
basa ko
meron
dun
siyang
sa,
father issues or meron siyang
basa ko sa pamangkin, before he can relate about, those heroes. And now he's finding himself as a hero. So parang, I have my own story. Parang gano'n, di ba? I have my own story. Well, mostly for us, gano'n naman tayo, di ba? Minsan, iyak tayo ng iyak. Tapos biglang, ay, ayoko na yan kasi hindi naman relatable. Hindi na, di ba? I could do that also. Yun ang tingin ko. Parang,
And, and I think nothing makes a better impression than authenticity.
ayan.
Like authenticity in the screen in terms of course, it's not going to be authentic. It's imagination, it's technology, it's creativity, it's artistry, all combined, right? Imagine if you're like a set designer, how many psychological symbols you could have in the back, brainwashing people, no, right? But the thing about it is, when authenticity comes through, when the first Marvel films, Marvel, the studios is still trying to chase the whole Avengers to Thanos thing, which is kind of close. Then it's not hit the Endgame's height since they've not met that. That's kind of their and then now they're kind of like, well, we got to repeat it. We'll get him again, the Robert Downey Jr. back in, no, you know, and children, no one can sense inauthenticity better than children, even the younger generation. And if he grew up really excited about these characters in those movies, they might have meant something really special to him. And now that he can tell when he watches these films with the feeling that you're just making these to churn stuff out and make millions of dollars. Hmm. You know, I'm not about it, right? So, which brings me to the question, Ollie. At his age now, what does he get excited to watch? What's his or voila?
Mhm. Yes, yes.
Hmm?
F1.
You know,
F1. My goodness.
F1.
He wanted F1.
The movie.
Yeah, F1.
Let's go. I'm gonna watch that again.
Yes.
Is it good?
Have you guys seen have you guys seen Only We Know?
Mm-mm. Which one's that one? Remind me. What's only we know again? I'm not sure.
Okay. Only We Know uh just showed recently. It's a Filipino movie. Okay.
Mm.
And it stars our very own Charo
Sharon.
Santos. Paired with Ding Dong Dantes. Okay. And it's so I've really found it, di ba, I don't like drama nga. Okay, I don't like drama, but I watched it because of Charo. And I ended up loving it. I ended up liking the film very much because it's a movie about it's a movie about um an older woman and having a romantic um thing with a younger man. Okay. And for me, the movie is really about the older woman. Okay, the movie is really about Charo. And for me, she represented someone who is aging. Okay, she's retired. And for me, I resonate with that because I resonate with aging. I feel like I'm part of the aging community. Um, and for me, when parang she's retired, she got separated from her husband. Uh, but parang she showed in that movie na parang hey, there's still so much life after all of that. Nawalan ka ng you've retired, nawalan ka ng trabaho. There's still life after that. Uh, you got separated. After how many years of marriage, you end up alone. And oh wow, there's still life pa pala after that. In other words, there's life after death. To me, that is um, the most striking theme of that film. Of course, there are other themes, but for me, that struck me most. Hey, there's still life after death. Any kind of death, there's still life. And to me, that is what Charo showed. Ang ganda ng film.
I like that. I like your reflection on that particular movie. All.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. There's always life after a heavy experience or a very painful experience, a painful defeat or whatever that is, a form of psychological death. There is always life after that. In fact, life or is preceded by death, but as a form of death, diba? And that experience of death clears the path so that another reality comes into life in that sense. Yeah, and it mirrors also, it gives us a hope. I think for the viewers, it gives them that storyline gives them hope that there is hope. That behind the clouds the sun is still shining, to put it that way. No.
Jay, just a question. Can you
Yes.
repeat what you just said about that? Because this is exactly white planetary world bridger. Can you repeat what you just said about death? What
Yeah,
did you
I
say?
said, well, ano yun eh, spontaneous
You said something about death
stream
was
of
it's
thought.
death is before life. What did you say? Death is before. You said
I
something.
said life is preceded by death.
Life is
Death clears
preceded
the
by
path, clears the way for a new life, for a new
a new
reality.
crossing, a new entries, new bridges,
Yes,
right?
yes,
World bridger.
yeah, right. We need
So
death, actually. We need death. In fact, death is not separated. It's not separated with life. They are two sides of the same coin. Without death, life is impossible.
and just I know it's not movie related, but it could be. But how connected is what you're saying to Zen?
To what?
To the koans,
To
to
what?
the Zen, the philosophy of the death.
The
What is death?
Zen, Zen.
Ah,
Yeah, the
Ah,
mantra,
okay.
the Tao, the Tao.
Well, because there is only one life. You cannot say this is death, this is life, this is destruction, this is whatever. There is one reality. And this reality has many facets to it, has many angles. You cannot isolate death or life from death. It's all
It's
one,
recursive. Yeah,
whole
it's a.
reality. And that is Zen. Zen has a unified way of looking at life, or looking at the realities of our existence. You cannot compartmentalize it, in other words.
Would you have any movie? Any do you know of any movies? I think it's an interesting topic. I'll just if I could jump in the fact that something like Zen, right? Let's say something like what a great movie. It's a great movie around like the any movies touching around that, or what would that look like? Certain
I
religious beliefs or
Madami. Madami actually. Uh, ano yun? Jay, yung about uh, Nirvana, mga ganyan. I
no,
forget.
actually there is. It's a modern movie. It's a series. Yung the White Lotus.
the White
I,
Lotus.
Thornbirds.
yeah.
Zen? Zen ba yun? Hindi Zen yun or
May,
birds?
Hindi
Of course
joke
you
lang.
don't. You know,
May,
it has qualities. It
may
has
So
sex.
themes.
none.
Merong sex doon.
It
May
has
sex.
themes. Ang daming themes doon about life, about death. You know, yung
Well,
isang
kinda.
character doon,
Actually, it's yung very
ang,
yung White Lotus. Very
you know,
what I'm
I find yung psychology, the Jungian or deep psychology, very zen.
I do too. It's very
Ang
good.
dami convergences. Ang dami talaga.
You know,
actually,
how about
can I share with you guys? There's this
Yes, Nathan.
doctor. Yes, there's this doctor. He's well, kakamatay lang siya. Kakamatay lang few years ago. Pero he is a German. I was talking to you about that Oliver. He's German. What he implements is very zen and very young. Na the body, your what's this? Your physical talks to you in your subconscious, parang ganun. So if you have a disease, you could heal it by doing psychological, you know, healing. So if you have your body talks. I mean, kunyari, let's say, if you have a lump in your arms, parang ganyan, or lump in your lungs, so parang TCM siya. So, traditional Chinese medicine. So, kunyari, let's say, in your brain, parang ganyan, parang may mga, what's this, may meaning, parang ganun. So, may meaning siya. And then, yung ginagamit niya as in, let's say, it's an ancient, it is an ancient knowledge. Parang ganun. So, it talks, parang your body talks, your heart talks, your liver talks, parang ganyan. Medyo malalim. Mahirap ano yun. Mahirap.
so he engages in active imagination with all his organs and body
I,
parts,
yes, to heal the body.
which I think that's great. I mean, if
To
more of
heal
us
the
could do
body.
that, right? I
Yes,
think
correct.
I think one thing going with movies is that they remind us because you look at it. What is a movie? But a figment of imagination at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Right, and
correct.
this imagination that some guy like let's say one of my favorites in terms of just sheer like blockbuster experience. I don't know about you guys, but when I watched Avatar, I thought it was the best thing in the universe for
Avatar.
about like three days after. I
Same.
was like, I was like, "Turok Makdo," like I was like all really into it, right? And James Cameron, he has an interesting process of how he makes films. Terminator came from a dream, okay? And funny enough, talking about AI, I've just sent an email to CNN and Wired magazine regarding my own ideas about AI potential uprising, which I want to share with you guys, right? In real life, actually, we say that. But Terminator, he had a dream, and in the dream, he dreamt the robot skeleton, and then boom, his avatar is a result of something from his teen years that he was feeling about that he carried, and only now, when the technology met, he's putting it out there. So it's really active imagination being translated in the most visceral way. What did you say? No? Right? So when a director, and the interesting is, what does a director bring? Okay. What do the actors bring? Like when you, why do you pay for, but is it just, it's not just the people they get, it's the energy they put out, right? You know? So it's also like you basically have all these ingredients. And just when you have sometimes you just have the right this, the right that, you get that movie that's not just a blockbuster, but it's something that it stays. It becomes a symbol for like family time, seasons. You have every who watches Christmas movies at Christmas time. That's corny. I do. Somebody, no.
And not only that, art, I think it also because it offers us some form of psychic food, some form of psychic nourishment, and it brings
And
life into. into the areas of our life where it needs to be revived. So, in that sense.
I might be the only one to say this, but for me, one moment was really watching Basic Instinct and seeing Sharon Stone actually,
Sharon.
move her legs a bit in the. I was like, wow, God, do
Correct.
you want that? Like
That
literally, right?
didn't affect me.
I think you're like, as I said, I'm the only one here probably that got that,
It
right?
didn't
Right?
affect me.
I'm sure, but it did me. How did? No, it must have. Come on, it didn't affect you. You guys weren't like, my God, no. In that sense, it
No,
was just like,
no,
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 no.
not at all.
I
It was like,
went and then
what the hell is this girl doing?
and then you think about rating. Who gets to judge rating? Is it rating to what? To age? Is age relative to consciousness? Why do we rate films? What's the what is a like a horror movie or like a big war movie with people dying? Is that really gonna affect someone who's 14 badly? I mean, how does that work? Like I'm kind of like MTRCB, no, the censor.
Correct.
Ano ka ba? Kung tayo nga, it affects us eh. Sila pa, younger. Kung tayo nga, it affects us. Ako, I can't watch I have to close my eyes for mga very violent, ano.
Yeah.
If it affects
The
me,
visual
it
is
would
too
affect
much.
younger people. Diba?
Correct.
Mm.
So,
Correct. So
oo.
kailangan din merong ganoon. Merong tawag doon, regulation. No? Just like our emotional regulation. So kailangan din yung mga visual stimulation na ma-regulate because it's sometimes the visuals are too much. It's too much. One
Mm-mm.
cannot have it in that sense.
Mm.
Okay,
You
Who
guys.
would,
says you have to watch
right,
a
yes.
movie straight?
Yeah. So
Actually, we could, I
Yeah,
don't know,
dude.
we could,
Okay.
what's this? We could be in this discussion until 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yes,
pero
you could.
we have limited time. We have limited time. Ayun.
yeah.
So, can you thank, Jay, can you thank all that who has watched our
Yeah, thank you so much, Art and Nathan.
Maybe
Thank you,
before we go,
Ellie.
could you
Thank
just
you,
quickly
Lee.
sign off with what would be like a movie title for your life?
Yeah, I think
So
that's a
this is a
nice
metaphor as well, right?
parting.
So yeah,
That's
and
nice.
you guys on the
Nice
chat,
parting thought.
whoever's watching, just what is that like that movie for your life? And it doesn't have to be a unique movie. It can be like anything you watched. Shawshank Redemption. Amityville Horror. Whatever it is, right? But yeah, cool.
sa akin, Supergirl pa rin siya. Supergirl.
Ako sa dami ng mga movies, ano? Sa dami ng mga movies. Okay. Um,
Will be a title.
wow. Siguro, maybe again, I'll go back to the Lord of the Rings. That's how I want my, kumbaga, in a fantasy world. I want to be part of that fantasy world. Oh, Dead Poet Society, according to Raj.
No,
Dead
I could see
Poets.
that, Raj.
Dead
Oh
Poet
my
Society.
God, I would love to be a student like that. I could totally see that.
On
That's a beautiful movie.
Raj.
That's such a
Yeah.
beautiful. What a
Nice
Really,
movie!
one,
Oh,
Raj.
oh, students are so lucky. Do you give
Nice
Raj? Do you
one,
give that
Raj.
vibe? Oh, it's a movie.
how about you, Art?
Ako, only
I see. Holly.
only I know. Oh,
For me, it's
only
a
I
heartbreak.
know.
Sa akin, it's so what Young says about shadow work, right? I changed it. So shadow work is different for me. It's for my movie called The Heart Resonator.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Nice. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much,
Good night,
Oli,
guys. Thank
Art,
you. Talk to you guys
Nathan,
next time.
and Ruby. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jay.
See you again
Bye.
in our next episode.
Bye
See you
bye.
again.